fun.
Fun
Surprisingly fun.
is what we're all about. Straight No Chaser Talk Radio.
What fun at a party!
This is Straight No Chaser Talk Radio. We're just getting started. Straight No Chaser Talk Radio.
He's drinking that with no chaser.
This is Straight No Chaser Talk Radio. We're just getting started. Straight No Chaser Talk Radio.
He's drinking that with no chaser.
This is Straight No Chaser Talk Radio. We're just getting started. Straight No Chaser Talk Radio.
He's drinking that with no chaser.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's your boy B. And of course, tonight we are just so excited to have a legend in the studio with us. And of course, in the background, you hear the unmistakable sounds of lGladys Knight and the Pips. And we're just so honored tonight to have a legend in our midst, Bubba Knight. And you know, here's the interesting thing. I don't care what your politics are, your religion is, your social status. Everybody has a favorite song that lGladys Knight and the Pips put out. I don't care whether it's Midnight Train to Georgia, I Heard It Through the Grapevine, Love's Overboard, on and on. I've got to use my imagination. If You Were My Woman, the list goes on and on and on. You can just pick one. But I don't care, again, who you are. Everybody has a favorite. lGladys Knight and the Pips song, and we're going to talk about some of that stuff as we move through this evening. But not only could these folks sing, but they could dance just as well as they could sing. And I mean, they still have people all over America doing that classic train conductor move on this song, Midnight Train to Georgia. Me and my buddies used to get together and do that, woo, woo. So, you know, we just had a blast when we were listening to lGladys Knight and the Pips. And of course, we would always watch Bubba leading the Pips, you know, doing these fantastic moves. In fact, I recently was teasing Bubba, you know, I bought some white shoes and was wondering if I could be an honorary Pip, and he still says I'm not ready. So, you know, but we're going to get into that as well. But, you know, tonight, you know, we're just so honored, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome Bubba Knight to the show. Bubba, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much, Mike, for having me on your show. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. And you and your listening audience.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's just, so, you know, just real quick before we get into it, Bubba, because, you know, you're just, you know, you have to understand this young man, especially during, you know, Black History Month, this young man is Black history. He's rock and roll history. He's Grammy Award history, you know. So, I mean, you know, this guy is just, you know, doing it from all ends. As you know, one of the other groups used to say, he's coming from all ends. So we just got to, you know, just hear and absorb all that he's going to give us this evening. So, Bubba, what's going on, man?
Oh, everything is good, Mike. I tell you, I've dipped my toe back into a little bit of show business. I was in a play called Smokey Joe's Cafe a while back. And I was with the touring company, and we played Caesar's Palace here. And I have been in a production like that in quite a long time. But just to bring you up to date, I'm performing a character in this Follies that's coming to Las Vegas at the Aliante Hotel and Casino in April 11th through the 14th. And I'm playing a character in that particular Follies. My name is Max Deans.
Oh, tell me about it.
Well, Max Deans is he's part of the Follies, and the Follies is a production of Stephen Sondheim. He wrote and produced all the music.
Sure.
particular play. And also, I think I'm not real sure about how many awards the Follies had won back in the day,
Sure.
but they won a lot of awards. So I'm into that the Follies, and also I have a lot of my buddies who are gonna appear in the Follies, like Clint Holmes, Kelly Holmes,
Oh, wow.
Antonio Fargas, and
Wow.
Guy Miles, Linda Woodson. Well, I can go on and on and on, but it's going to be a great production, and I'm excited about doing it because, like I said, I haven't done anything like that since
Wow.
Smoke That Fade. That was a long time ago.
Well, you know, I can tell you that we heard about this play that you're working in and that you're going to star in, rather, and so we plan to be there.
Oh,
We want to sing now. Just so that you know, Bubba, just in case, I will have my white shoes with me in my little satchel. So if you need me to come up on stage and help out, you know, just give the brother the nod. I'm there for you.
well, Brother Mike, I'm playing a character. I'm not Pippin. I'm playing a character. Max Dean is not a Pip. I'm just playing his character.
So we can let the audience know there will be no Pippin.
Well, there will be some dancing and some singing and all of those kinds of things. But I won't be in the Follies as a Pip.
Sure.
You probably won't see me running around there doing woo woo.
Oh, okay.
Unless the spirit hit me when
Understood.
and I come out of character, and
Sure.
that means that I'll be off the show after you that night.
Understood. Well, that's a good thing. But and certainly we hope everyone that's listening will go out and support, because just for some of the names that you've named, for example, Antonio Fargas, another legend that will be gracing the stage with you, and it's just again, it's just right, Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch. For those of you who don't know, you better ask somebody. we again, particularly as we celebrate Black History Month, it's just such an honor to have treasures, like yourself and Antonio and others who are still in the game, who are still doing a lot of things that you're so busy you can't keep up. And we're just so happy that that you actually take the time to share a lot of the knowledge that you have gained over the years, with those that want to know, hey, what's the real story behind this and that, but those that want to come in your footsteps, because I hope they understand that they're standing on some incredible shoulders, such as yours and Antonio and of course your sister Gladys and just all the artists that have come before us, that are just doing some amazing things,
Thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
And
Well,
I don't mean to cut you off, but Clint Holmes, who
wow, another legend,
had a hit record a long time ago with My Name is Michael.
Wow.
And and Mike, let me tell you, man, I don't know whether you've seen Clint Holmes lately, but you're talking about a talent. My God, that brother is so talented. And his wife, Kelly Clinton Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly kills me with her act.
Is that right?
Oh.
So, well, since we're on this real quick, Bubba, tell us, what can the audience expect?
The audience can expect some great vocals coming from a lot of different people, like Sky Miles, like Linda Woodson, and there are some other people in the show that. I'm sorry, Michelle Johnson.
Sure.
Who used to sing with Sonny Turner before he made his transition.
Sure.
And he has a beautiful operatic voice.
Wow.
Michelle has a beautiful, and she can reach the kind of notes that I dream about.
Wow.
Yeah, she's in the show. She's playing a lead role, and there are a lot of people in there that I think you're gonna really like. And let me see, it's somebody else that's in the show. What's her name? Oh God, it'll come to me. Let's keep.
Sure. Well, as we're talking about, just the success that you've enjoyed, how did you all get started in the business?
Oh, we got started at my birthday party back in 1952. At my birthday party, we were playing music from a friend of ours, a neighbor of ours, on his record player. And he decided that we weren't playing the kind of music that he liked. So he took his record player home, and it left us with no entertainment except for ourselves. And everybody at my party that stayed had to get up and perform, tell a joke or do something. And my sisters and my cousins sung, and the people liked us so much at the party. They asked us to do additional numbers.
Sure.
And Mom, who was in the window, she was watching us and heard and looked and saw what was happening. After the party was over, long story short, she called us into the living room and asked us if we wanted to be a group.
Wow.
And we said yeah. So she got my cousin Pip to mentor us and rehearse us and take us around Atlanta. And that's how I started, Last Night in the Pips. We didn't have a record.
Wow. Well, that's really interesting. So how long in the business?
Oh, since 1952, or give me your man.
Wow.
And I'm 82 right now.
Oh my goodness. 82 years old and still going strong.
Oh, I'm sorry. My wife told me not to do that.
Oh.
I always see what I do. I always add up.
Understood.
Up.
You're claiming it. That's right.
I'll be
That's right.
this year.
That's all right. You can claim it, man. Claim it. Yes, indeed. Well,
Kathy always get to me and say, "Honey, you're not that age yet."
So, but ironically, as you look back at when you were starting this whole journey, were there folks in your circle and your family that are like, you're going to be a singer? Are you kidding me? You need to go out here and get you a government job. What's that all about?
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, a lot of our relatives. Actually, one uncle, my Uncle Clarence, wanted me to be the first male, the first of our generation to graduate from college.
Okay.
And he wanted me to do that. My older sister was already in college, and he wanted me to be the first male out of the family to have a college degree. So he would send me to Morehouse. Okay. He paid my whole tuition and my books, everything. And he wanted to give me his car. He was going to give me his Plymouth so that I could get back and forth to school. And at that particular time, I had gotten bitten by the showbiz bug. The bug had bitten me, Mike.
Okay, got you bad, huh?
Yeah, it got me bad, man. It bit me right in the heart and the spirit.
Wow.
And I had to have that conversation with my beloved Uncle Clarence and tell him that I didn't want to go to Morehouse and get a college degree. And I thanked him for offering it to me. But I told him I wanted to be a pip. I'm sorry, Uncle Clarence, I just want a pip, man.
I hear you.
Yeah, so that's how that went.
So how'd that conversation go?
Mike, he didn't discourage me.
Okay.
He didn't discourage me, but he was disappointed.
Sure.
Let me just put it like that.
Sure.
But Mike, after Midnight Train to Georgia,
Hmm.
and the record company bought me a 1972 Mercedes Benz,
Wow.
and I drove up my Mercedes Benz
Hmm.
and to see Uncle Clarence.
Hmm.
He started crying and hugged me
Wow.
because he was so proud of me sticking to what I wanted to do,
Okay.
being successful at it.
Sure.
And I told him that I can always go back to school.
Sure.
But I wanted to get this motivation and what was inside of me out.
Yeah, gotcha. Gotcha.
And so he applauded me and patted me on my back and hugged me. And Uncle Clarence don't hug anybody.
Gotcha.
He just does not hug
He's
people.
not that dude, huh?
He ain't that dude. He was not that dude. but Uncle Clarence, so I made him proud, which made me feel really, really good. And
Good.
that one of the reasons, Mike, that during the ups and downs of show business,
Hmm.
and there was a lot of them, man. There was a lot of ups and downs. As a matter of fact, it was more downs than ups in the beginning.
Hmm.
And one of the things that helped to keep me going was thinking about Uncle Clarence,
Gotcha.
thinking about Mama Knight.
Hmm.
How she had made sacrifices
Sure.
along the way in order to, help us raise our children
Sure.
to be in show business. So all of those people, when we got knocked down, that kept me getting up.
Sure. Wow. So now, after you all got started, and I know there was you had to pay your dues and go to various places and take various gigs, and
Yeah.
so how did that journey land you at Motown?
Actually, we were with about 4 or 5 different record labels before we even went to Motown.
Okay.
And we had a little success at each one of them.
Hmm.
Our first record that we recorded, which was Every Beat of My Heart,
Mm.
in Atlanta, Georgia, when we weren't even, let me see, I don't think we were even, we were teenagers. Anyway, Every Beat of My Heart came out on 3 different record labels.
Hmm.
The first record label was Hunt Tongue Records out of Atlanta.
Hmm.
That record came about. We were working this club called the Builders Club.
Hmm.
And working the Builders Club, after we had performed 2 shows that night, Mr. Fats Hunter asked us if we would stay over and record on some of his new Roland Sack tape recorder.
Hmm.
And Pip asked us if we wanted to do it. We were tired, but
Sure.
he said, "Want to do it?" Said, "Yeah, let's do this for Fats."
Hmm.
So we recorded. I think we recorded a song called "What You Gonna Do," a song that we were covering from that the Drifters had recorded,
Sure.
and we recorded that. And Fats asked us if we had any original material.
Okay.
And that's a long story. Now I'll tell you about that another day. How we
Okay.
got this song, "Every Beat of My Heart."
Mhm.
It came from one of the Midnighters. Sonny Woods gave it to us one night quickly, and he said that if you ever got a chance to record, you record this song, and I guarantee you it'll be a hit.
Sure.
Sonny Woods wanted Hank Ballard and the Midnighters that were looking after us because we were kids. Anyway, we thought about the song that Sonny had said, and Fats Hunter asked Cleveland Lowndes, who was the musical director there at the club.
Hmm.
He asked Cleveland Lowndes if he would just play some music behind whatever we sung.
Hmm.
So we just started off in "Every Beat of My Heart," and Cleveland Lowndes started playing. And we recorded "Every Beat of My Heart." unbeknownst to us, a few days or a few weeks later, the kids from our school was telling us that they liked our new record.
Wow.
What new record? And Bay brother William Guest, my cousin, called me on the phone. He was at Washington High, and I was at Arch at the time. And he called me and said, "Bubba, Addy Pat, the disc jockey, is going to play a new release by the Pips."
Mm-hmm.
We were just the Pips then. We weren't Gladys Knight and the Pips yet. And so I turned the radio on, and Addy Pat played "Every Beat of My Heart."
Mm-hmm.
And the lines at the radio station just popped off, man.
Wow.
And this is a hit record for the Pips, our own Atlanta Pips.
Wow.
And then the people in New York heard about this hit record in Atlanta. And the people in Chicago heard about this hit record that was popping, what they call bubbling over in Atlanta.
Sure.
And so VJ Records sent a representative down to Atlanta and bought the master tape from Fats Hunter and Tom, whatever his name. And they bought the master tape and they put it out on VJ Records out of Chicago.
Wow.
In the meantime, Fury Records, Bobby Robinson, sent Marshall Seahorn to Atlanta to talk to my mom about signing a deal with Fury Records in New York. And what sweetened the deal was, he said that if you come, we'll send for you guys to come to New York and record and cover your own record. And to sweeten the deal, we'll get you a performance at the famous Apollo Theater.
Wow.
So that was the deal. And he said that he told my mom that he would put us up at the Teresa Hotel on 125th Street.
Okay.
So that was the package. The hotel, travel, the hotel, cover our own record, and a gig at the Apollo Theater.
Nice. Nice. Now, you mentioned at that particular point in the game that you were just the Pips. Now, when did you change the name to Gladys Knight and the Pips?
Bobby Robinson asked us if we would change the name to Gladys Knight and the Pips so that his Fury record, Every Beat of My Heart, would be distinguished from the other records, the one in Chicago, and and the one out of Atlanta.
Gotcha.
So that's how we distinguish Bobby Robinson's Fury, Every Beat of My Heart from the other two that were out. And I think all of them was on the charts.
Now, back in that time frame, Bubba, how big of a challenge was it, number one, to break into the business, but also during that time of Jim Crow and all those other things, did that compound the challenge of trying to make it big in the business? Can you kind of share that with the audience?
Yeah, we were already in the business because we were a hit act in Atlanta, Georgia, performing-wise.
Okay.
Not record-wise, performing-wise.
Gotcha. Okay.
We played a lot of dates in Atlanta, like the Royal Peacock, the Casino, and the Morocco Lounge.
Sure.
Where we won a contest for 3 weeks. And that got us a professional engagement at the famous Royal Peacock in Atlanta, Georgia.
Sure.
Now, some of the places in Atlanta we couldn't work because we were black.
Uh-huh.
And some of the more popular places in Atlanta that catered to the white audience,
mm-hmm.
we weren't able to work there. And so we had a great African American support system.
Mm-hmm.
The brothers and sisters wrapped their arms around us and made us theirs.
Oh, that's great.
And I remember one place, I think it was called the Pine. No, not Pine. Naughty Pine. I think it was a club out in the suburbs of Atlanta
Mhm.
that catered to an all-white audience.
Mhm.
And the owner had visited one of our performances, I think at the Royal Peacock,
Mhm.
and he liked us as a group. And he asked Pip if
Mhm.
Pip would drive us out to the suburbs to play in his club.
Sure.
And we went out there. I remember this. And we went out there, and Edward Patton's father was the piano player. It was his band that played behind us. And when we went out there, this all-white audience, there were some not so good redneck people in the audience,
Mhm.
and they started shouting out the N word
Mhm.
and threw beer bottles up there on the stage at us.
Mhm.
So they got us out of the club. We went and got in the car and stayed in the car. And the owner came downstairs after they had thrown these people out.
Mhm.
And he apologized to us for the way that his customers had acted toward us.
So it wasn't the whole group; it was just a few ne'er-do-wells that were there.
Come on, you know how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
All
Mm-hmm.
it takes is a few of them.
Few folks spoiled it for everyone.
Yep.
Wow.
And
So
one thing, Mike, let me tell you one thing about that particular club.
sure.
Talking about the way that we got paid, the owner didn't pay us. We were just coming out there trying to break ourselves into more of a pop market.
Sure.
You know, more of a trying to bring white and black people together.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why we were playing in that particular club. And how they paid us was they had one of the workers in the kitchen with a brown paper bag, and people used to throw money up there, change and dollars.
Sure.
And he would, while we were performing, he would go around and pick up the money off the floor and put it in the bag. And that was our bag for the night. That we got
Wow.
paid for the night.
Wow.
But it all messed up when that group of, white racist people did that thing. So anyway.
Well, and again, that just goes back to what I was saying earlier. You guys have had just a wide variety of experiences and challenges over the span of your incredible career.
Mm.
And I know that, that was certainly something that's still in your memory banks.
Of course.
But as you move forward with that same experience in mind, what was it like to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and so forth?
Quite an honor.
Mm-hmm.
Quite an honor. Being inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame let me know that some of the places that we had performed in and some of the obstacles that we overcame was all well worth it, because we were being acknowledged.
Sure. People
in our profession to be honored in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's quite an honor.
Sure.
And I remember, just to go back a little bit, I remember when Sam Cooke broke into the Copacabana and Jules Fidel, and I remember Jackie Wilson wanted that kind of accolade or that kind of credit on his resume as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I understand that once Sam Cooke had played Copacabana,
Mm-hmm.
he wanted to play this Copacabana and his people. And from this is just hearsay, I don't have any proof, but they paid Mr. Fidel and Jackie to play the Copacabana. And I was honored. Well, we were honored when we were with Motown Records. We also played Copacabana. And Mr. Fidel had sent the word out. He had sent the word out that we couldn't play his club until we changed that name from Gladys Knight and the Pips. And he was under the impression that we were the Pimps. Come on, Mike.
Wow.
Come on. A lot of people, they took, some of those TV shows that they played off of that.
Sure.
But with the PIPS, not PIPS.
That's right.
Anyway, so Mr. Padell, after somebody had educated him about we were not pimps,
that's right.
He accepted us, and he became one of our biggest supporters, man.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he used to send us flowers and congratulatory wires and things like that everywhere we played. The Latin, all those other clubs that hosted that had mixed audiences. Mr. Dale will always make sure that he congratulated us and let us know how proud he was of our accomplishments and of our growth.
Well, yeah, and again, that's quite a tribute to your brand, because I'm sure you proved quite a few people wrong, just like you proved a lot of them right, but I'm sure as you go into some of those clubs and like get off the stage, who are you, what, they couldn't see past their own issues to look at the real talent that you all possessed.
Yeah.
But that's why it's so good that as time moved on, that you all enjoyed the success that you enjoyed, and you also were ultimately recognized by the Hall of Fame. That's really huge.
Oh yeah, the Hall of Fame, the Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame. As a matter of fact, we got a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame as well.
Really?
On top of receiving the other award as well.
Wow.
And as well as you may well know, that my sister just won I think a legacy Grammy. Wait a minute, I'm kind of getting confused right now. On this recent Grammy award show, she received the legacy. I think.
Wow.
Legacy Grammy.
Man,
and
that's big.
Given out to people of
And I know they don't just throw that around.
You just don't get that.
They don't just throw that around. Hey man, what you doing? Come on, take this award.
You don't get that.
That's right. So now, Bubba, over the years.
By the way, and they also.
Sure.
Mike, I can't, but things keep popping up in my head.
No, come on with it.
This is how we talk, right?
Yes, sir.
And I just wanted I just wanted to bring this up as well. My little sister, I love her, man, and she gets quite a few awards from being a solo act. Now she's by herself, and they just honored her at the Kennedy Honors.
Sure.
And I just had to say, they had rental pips up there. They had the rental pips. But I just wanted to publicly say how talented I thought they were, and how much I enjoyed their performance. They were pretty.
I'm insulted.
They were pretty.
I've been walking around with my white shoes, and you got rental pips, and I couldn't even make the cut.
They were rental pips, man. But they were good. They were good though. I enjoyed them, man.
That's awesome.
I think Garth Brooks sung "Midnight Train to Georgia."
Wow,
that was a twist.
I'm sure, but I'm sure he put his spin on it, and because he's another talented fella.
Oh yeah,
yes, sir.
All talent, man. All talent.
Yes, indeed. Well, let me ask you this: what in the span of Gladys Knight and the Pips and so forth, what would you say was your biggest hit?
My biggest hit?
Out of all of the incredible music you've put out, what is the biggest hit that the group put out?
Oh, it's got to be Midnight Train to Georgia.
Okay.
No question about that. because Midnight Train to Georgia, I mean, it crossed all kind of circles and borders and it just went everywhere, man.
Sure.
And you know, Midnight Train to Georgia, because of the genius talent of Jim Weatherly, who was inducted into the Country Music Writers Hall of Fame.
Sure.
Love Jim, man. Jim write his, I mean, God rest his soul. But that Jim Weatherly was so talented, man. My goodness.
Yeah.
And with him and the combination of what we did with putting Gladys Knight and the Pips and combine it with Jim Weatherly's talent. That was the combination that made us more successful than we had been in prior years.
Wow. Well, you know, I just got a comment that I had to ask you about this is one of my favorite things. The episode you did with Richard Pryor.
Oh my!
Just the Pits. But just the Pits.
Bypassing that question, excuse me for 1 second, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Keep talking. Keep talking. Okay.
Yeah, where you and the Pips were performing without Gladys, and you know, it's just the music in the background, like this. In the case of you all put in your woo woo and all that kind of good stuff, you know.
Okay, I got a story for you, Mike.
Come on.
I got a story for you, buddy.
Come on.
All right, my brother. This is how it went down. Okay?
Come on.
I was in LA at my building, and I got a phone call. I got a phone call from Richard, and I'm sorry, Paul Mooney called me. Paul Mooney called me, who has been a big fan, a friend of ours from way back. We gave Paul Mooney his first time performing as a comedian.
Sure.
In a show in Los Angeles. Okay, so we became good buddies, right? We were real friends. Anyway, Paul Mooney was a writer for Richard Pryor.
Sure.
And Paul called me on the phone. He said, "Bubba, I need for you to get down here to the studio. Call Big Brother and call Edward, William Guest, and Edward Patton. Those are my cousins. And I say Big Brother or Red, that's William. If I say Edward or Lord Hammertoe, that's Edward. Okay, Lord Hammertoe. Yeah,
Lord Hammertoe. Okay.
Yeah, Lord Hammertoe. He had bad feet. Anyway, so Paul Mooney called me and he said, get Red and get Ed, Lord Hammertoe, and y'all come down here to the studio right away. I'm going like, okay, what we doing? Just come on down here. And I said, okay, let me make some phone calls, and I'll call Gladys and have her to meet us over there. He said, I ain't said nothing about no Gladys. He said, did I say anything about Gladys? I said, no, you did, but we're a group. He said, Bubba, just do like I asked you to do. And Richard got on the phone and said, come on down to the studio, Bubba. We went to the studio, and they had the track. They had Midnight Train to Georgia track and the other stuff, that other little piece that we did. And he said, when we met with him and Rich, he said, all we want you to do is do the Pips. Just be the Pips. Don't do nothing else, and we'll take it from there. So they set a microphone up on my left and set a microphone up for the three of us. Said, okay, when we start the music, we're gonna roll the camera, and you guys just do the.
That's fine.
and that's what we did, and they taped that doggone thing, man, and put it, because it was Richard Pryor's what they called it was something in show business that they do when they have a introduction. There's a word, Mike.
Sure.
When you're doing like a demo.
Right. Well, I tell you what, man, that was a classic, Bubba, and we still talk about it. We still pull it up on YouTube, and it was just, that was absolute classic. You all pulled it off, and I tell you, I still, matter of fact, later on this evening, I think I'm gonna have to pull that up. But Bubba, I really appreciate you being here, man. I know we had some technical difficulties earlier, and we have to shut it down. But man, let me tell you, it's such an honor to have you on the show. And again, just to know that you are rock and roll history, you are soul music history, you are Grammy Award history, and you all have just been doing so many incredible things for just decades, man. And the folks that have come after you and came while you were here, man, we've just enjoyed your music so. And you're just a treasure to us, man. And I just wanted to tell you that. And just to tell you again, thank you so much for making the time to come on our little old show and talk to us.
Thank you, Mike. I'm glad I could get away from rehearsal in time with traffic. Traffic jacked me up, man. And I'm going, Lord, I ain't going to make Mike's show. How can we do this from my car?
That's right. Well, whenever I know that now that you and Antonio are thespians now. We're going to have you back on the show, because I just have so many more questions to ask and so many more perspectives I want to get from you, and I don't want to cut you off because it's too much valuable information, and just to come from a legend like yourself. So again, man, I just thank you for coming on the show. And tell the audience again about your play, and then we're gonna get out of here.
Okay, yeah, I'm performing in a Broadway play called The Follies, and it's going to be performed at the Aliante Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, April 11th through the 14th. We're going to perform 6 shows, and we have a lot of great talent in that show. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about all the rest of them. Man, I'm just playing a character. I'm Max Deans, and my wife is Stella Deans, who is Sky Miles, okay? And we're going to have some fun on that thing. So Clint Holmes, Kelly Holmes, Antonio Vargas, and I touch. Awesome. You name it, okay? I know you got to go, Mike.
Yeah, that's right.
You're good. And thank you for having me on your show, man. I appreciate it, and your audience. Yeah. Yes,
sir. And Bubba, thank you again for coming out, man. We really appreciate you. We love you, my brother, and just keep doing good things, man, and keep those hits coming.
Will do. Okay, Mike.
All right, brother. Take care of yourself.
You too, Mike.
Gentlemen, as always, we just appreciate you. Let's bring it to you straight, no chaser, and we'll see you next time. In the meantime, enjoy the sultry sounds of Gladys Knight and the Pips. Bye.